Hello everybody, today we're going to look on Yakuza Kiwami 2 and then Kiwami 1. These both are now the Switch 2 versions and they have very, I would say, interesting situations happening to both of them. And I didn't really expect it to be like this, so that is why I wanted to also make the video. So first, I want to pre-emphasize by saying that I think both of these games you should get them if you want to play handheld, because on handheld they look insanely clean. They look super crisp on 1080p, like they look just really good. Now, what you see here in Kiwami 2, probably you have already noticed, this is 30 FPS. But there is a good reason for that. It is not that, oh, they're lazy and stuff like this, they could do it and they didn't. This specific engine right here, it is quite heavy because they use a lot of physics. And if you're gonna see from the gameplay that you can break windows, you can interact with everything with the environment, and that is why it is this heavy of an engine. So even on the Steam Deck, this runs at around 30 to 40 FPS. So I was not really expecting that this was just gonna be like this, way more like configured experience. As you see here, the glass breaks, and I think I'm gonna try in a bit to break the glass again, just to show you that you can interact with all of the items inside on the stores, and it makes all the brawls feel way more alive. Now, I don't think that 30 FPS is that big a deal because I played these games on PlayStation 4 on 30 FPS, and it was not the worst deal in the world. Sure, I wish it was 60, but it is not really that big of a deal. What bothers me though is something that unfortunately I decided to not capture because I don't want to do any disservice to the game. Maybe this is gonna change, so I don't want to have it up there and then like change. But the performance on docked play was actually very disappointing, and I thought at the start it was only one. That okay, like they just left it 1080p and whatever. But Kiwami 2 as well, it feels like the performance doesn't change at all, and you're not getting any FPS boost, and I don't notice any like resolution uptick. There is definitely more anti-aliasing on Kiwami 2, but on Kiwami 1 it is very different kind of engine for Kiwami 1. So the situation there is 60 FPS, 1080p. But the problem is that all those things remain the same, at least from just a quick view that I did when I put them on docked. That's not great, right? Like you see the handheld play is fantastic. I think like this is my favorite way to play both of these games now handheld on the Switch 2. But when you put them on the dock, nothing happens. You still get this 1080p like you're running it on a PS4. And that doesn't really feel great. But at least you have the benefit of, like when you're running things um, from way faster storage that the Switch 2 has, you are getting the way better situation with way faster loading times than a PS4, and that's great. But I'm now very curious to see what the PS5 native versions of these games are going to be, because they are going to sell next month. Yakuza Kiwami 1, 2, and Yakuza 0. I have already pre-ordered the triple pack that it comes like for the price of one game. And I'm going to test this because I think that probably gonna be the best way on a console to play those games. Because probably I would imagine Kiwami 2 will have 60 FPS and it will have like probably 4K or at least 1440p, some kind of thing. Because on PC you can have those things, it's not a problem. But on consoles, yeah, like this engine is kind of heavy, and because it has all these interactions, so I understand why they did what they did for the Switch, but I don't understand why they didn't really feel like increasing the resolution on docked play. Because I don't know, it just feels like it's way too overblown. But that is just my nitpicks about the game because these games are actually very, very cheap. I got them both together for like 67 Australian dollars, which is something like what, like 35 USD. Because I also owned the Kiwami one, the Switch one version, so that is probably the reason that it had some kind of discount from the start. But again, even if you get them both for the first time, it is not expensive. So that is the benefit here, and you're gonna get two full-fledged games. They're amazing. I would encourage you to play these games and then play Zero, or if you started already with Zero, you can play Zero first. That's fine if you want to do chronological. But all of these games, Yakuza games, are fantastic. Like, I love the franchise, and I really hope we get to see the RPG games at some point soon as well, because I just love these games. And when I'm playing Kiwami 3, it is going to be on the Switch too, because I'm pleased with the performance, and because it is going to be the same engine as this, I am pretty sure that we will see Kiwami 3 also being 30 FPS. But it's not this kind of game. It is not really that big of an issue to have 30 FPS, because it is not like you're playing an actual fighting game. This is more like a beat 'em up. So having 30 FPS instead of 60, sure, visually it makes a difference, but it's not like the end of the world. That is at least how I see it. Now we see Kiwami 1. It is pretty, like, I think it's around chapter 4. You gotta do some chores with the dog. Let me see if I can get some fights going on here. Yeah, I think it's around here that there are gonna be some fights. And you can see for yourself a little bit how it looks. Again, I wanna say that both, they look amazing and they look great. They look way better than my Steam Deck when you have them on handheld. But my whining here and complaining is about the dock mode, because at least I was expecting for them to kind of upscale it. But especially on Kiwami 1, you feel it a lot because there is no anti-aliasing. You see a lot of jagged edges, and it feels like I'm playing on a PS4. Now, that is not a crazy bad thing to say for a portable console that is like all of that, but I'm pretty sure they could have done more work to make it look and run better on dock, because handheld, as I said, 1080p goodness, mwah, like it looks incredible. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen on the next game, and I don't know if they ever gonna do Judgment games. I hope they do, because I love Judgment. And yeah, like, for everyone that was looking forward to these games, I think, especially for handheld, this is an amazing version. If you already have them and you're mostly gonna play them on the screen, and you already have a PS5 or a PS4, I don't think you need to buy this on the Switch if your plan is just to play it on the big screen. If you plan to play it on hybrid, of course, Switch is the best choice. But, I'm just saying that, like, if your focus is on the big screen and you were expecting this to be running really, really well, that is not the experience. But everything else, I think it's fantastic. It is on a good price. You can get it bundled, you get even discounts, you can transfer your save. This feels crazy that this is like, is this Sega, or is this just, RGG Studio putting their foot down and like, we need to make Nintendo players care about this franchise and we want to sell Yakuza to them? So maybe that is the reason that they're like way more proactive and they're doing things right. Because you look at Sega and you look at other things like Persona, they're trying the same scam again with Persona 3. The game comes out with frame pacing issues, and the game is out for so long, it feels like super rushed release. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. We have delayed releases on things like Crossworlds. It took so long. Uh, I think like the heat is already off from Sonic Crossworlds already. Maybe it will come back with some DLC, but at least right now, I feel like the momentum is kind of gone if you don't already play it. So yeah, I don't know. Some weird with Sega stuff, some good things with RGG, and some dog situations with RGG. Please let me know, what do you think about this game? Are you gonna pick it up? I'm definitely gonna beat these games again, and then I'm gonna beat Zero again with the new scenario, which I heard is terrible, but well, what can you do? Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!